and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. And I was recently asked a question on Twitter by someone, and they said, Alice, who do you think Ole's top 5 main targets are going into the January transfer window? Like, who do you think Ole wants, and how likely do you think it is that we'll sign them in January? So in this video, I'm going to kind of be answering that question. I'm going to be talking about who I believe Ole's top 5 sort of transfer targets are going into January, and possibly even the summer, because you know some players aren't for sale in January, and giving them a likeliness out of 10 of like how likely is it that we're going to sign them in January. Now, first things first, I think with all January signings and Manchester United, it really depends on the injury crisis. I think, you know, if there's a few injuries in a certain area, the club will know they have to spend, and B, our league position. If it doesn't look like we're going to get top 4 unless we spend money, I believe that the board will spend money. And you're thinking, Alice, you think the board will spend money? Just hear me out. I think our transfer window was the second lowest net spend we've had in the last 10 years, okay? Bear in mind that obviously there is the coronavirus pandemic, but it's still a very low net spend. And obviously in the summer, it looks like Matic, his contract's going to run out and he's ageing, and it looks like Pogba could be sold. So we're probably going to be losing 2 midfielders in the summer and getting a bit of money. And then considering that, you know, it's been our lowest net spend in the last 10 years, pretty much, or second lowest this summer, you know, we have the money going into January to buy players. And I think, you know, if there's injuries in a certain position or it doesn't look like we're going to get top 4, the board will spend money. Because the one thing we know about Woodward and the board is they don't really care if we win the league or not, but they want us in the top 4, because us in the top 4, you know, brings the club more money for their own selfish reasons. And another thing is, Woodward's a banker, he's a very intelligent man when it comes to finances and stuff, and he's not stupid to know that when there's a good mood around Manchester United, when there's good results or something big happens like a good signing, the shares go up for the club as well. So I think, you know, we don't know if Man United will spend money or not in January, but they have the money there to spend. And, you know, a lot of these transfers could depend on injuries and, you know, like league position, because if we're not on the road to top 4, we will probably spend in January, in my opinion. But let's get straight into the video. But first things first, please hit that like button, subscribe down below, share this video with your friends, and I want you guys to get involved. If you could bring any two players with some kind of realism, don't say Mbappe or Neymar or Ronaldo or Messi, if you could bring any 2 players to Manchester United this summer, who would you bring and why? Let me know in the comment section down below, because I want to see who you guys would want to sign. I feel like myself, Sancho and Upamecano, more realistic summer signings than January signings. But let me get into the video, and first things first, I'm going to start with a name that's popped up around Manchester United, probably for the last year. We've been hearing this name linked to Manchester United, in Dennis Zakaria. Now, we know Ole's sort of been interested in this player for a while, but he's never really remained a top target for Manchester United. But there's a lot of rumours about him going to Chelsea now, and then that's also heated up some more rumours about Dennis Zakaria to Manchester United. And, you know, there's been a lot of on and off rumours about Dennis Zakaria to Manchester United, and I think he's one of those players, you know, like Donny van de Beek. Now, I did a video in March, and I said, you know, Donny van de Beek is probably not in Manchester United's top 3 targets, but he's definitely in their top 10. I said, you know what, if we don't get Grealish, I think we'll get Van de Beek. I said Ole will want Van de Beek, but he's probably not in his top 3 targets, and we got Van de Beek. And Zakaria was another name I mentioned. It's like, he's probably not in Ole's top 3 targets, but he's probably definitely in his top 10. And why do I think Dennis Zakaria is in Ole's top 10 targets? Well, first things first, Ole doesn't seem to be playing Matic. You know, he doesn't really seem to be wanting to play Matic, and obviously Matic is ageing, his contract expires, so he's kind of playing Fred and McTominay in that role. But I think he knows Fred and McTominay are probably better in the box-to-box role unless they sort of play together. And I think with the way Ole wants to play, he probably wants 1 CDM and 2 midfielders ahead. And I think Dennis Zakaria would be a younger, quicker Matic. You know, I think Dennis Zakaria is sort of very good ball distribution from deep. He can actually split the player and put Rashford and Greenwood and Martial in. You know, he's almost like a deep line playmaker, but he's a lot more defensive. He's 6'3", so he offers that height of Matic. But the one thing Dennis Zakaria has is pace, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs a pacey CDM. I think he's realised how slow Maguire and Lindelof are together, and that, you know, with Matic ahead, you know, it's just one ball to get through. But if you've got a pacey CDM that can sweep up, it also helps the defence. And I think with links to him to Chelsea, we know that Dennis Zakaria is a player that will probably be available in January. And he's probably a player that is on Ole's radar, and, you know, probably a player that would definitely improve us. And with Matic probably going to go this year, and probably Pogba going to be sold, you know, he kind of has a bit of Matic and Pogba in him. He has a little bit of creativity, he's got height, he's got pace, but he's more Matic-y, but he's got a big Pogba in him. And I think with Ole knowing those two players could be leaving in January, I'm giving Dennis Zakaria a 7 out of 10 likeliness as a January target. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like it wouldn't surprise me if it did happen. I think come January, this is a player that could be getting a move to the Premier League. Could it be United? Could it be Chelsea? Who knows? And then the next player I want to talk about is a player that we all kind of want at Manchester United and was probably in Ole's top 5 targets come the summer, in Upamecano. Now, Upamecano to Manchester United is a player Manchester United need. He's a very pacey centre-back, but with the recent form of Tuanzebe, again, I think Upamecano could depend on injuries to the defence and how is our defence doing come January. You know, if we've got a really good defensive record and buy in Tuanzebe fit, I don't think we'll get Upamecano. I don't, and I'm only giving him a 2 out of 10 likeliness because his release clause comes into place in summer, and I believe Ole wants him and would like him in January, but I believe he's a player that if we're going to go for him, it's going to be in summer, so it's a 2 out of 10 likeliness. Moving on to another player similar to Upamecano that would probably be more available in summer is Jaden Sancho. However, I'm giving Jaden Sancho a 4 out of 10 likeliness, a lot more than Upamecano, because I know that Jaden Sancho is the player Ole wants more than any other. We saw Dan James against Chelsea, he's pretty poor. We don't have much bench depth in attack. And Jaden Sancho's head seems to be turned at Dortmund. There's a lot of reports saying Dortmund might be ready to sell him in January because his heart's not at the club. He's not in top form. Obviously, he played quite well at the weekend and got an assist. But before that, you know, he hadn't really been in form. It was like his head wasn't at the club and maybe Dortmund were going to sell him in January. And I think, again, with Sancho, if maybe there was a big injury to Rashford or something, maybe they'd go for Sancho, but again, that's a lot of money to spend in January. But we did buy Bruno Fernandez last January. I'm giving Sancho a 4 out of 10 because I know that Ole would love to get him in January, and you know that if we give Dortmund the money, they would probably sell him in January because Dortmund are a very money greedy club. They said they wouldn't sell Ousmane Dembele, they said they wouldn't sell Aubameyang, but they did when they got the money. So I'm giving him a 4 out of 10, but it would be a massive transfer. And why I'm giving him a 4 out of 10 is because Bruno Fernandez was like our Sancho last summer. Really wanted him, we thought we were going to get him, board failed, we went back in for him. But Bruno Fernandez obviously was half the price Sancho was going to be, but you know, Sancho's head isn't at Dortmund, so he's got a 4 out of 10 likeliness. Now going on to my 4th player, and this is a player I think Ole wants because he fits the profile of a kind of player Ole wants, but Declan Rice. Now we've never been strongly linked to Declan Rice, but he's always been that on and off player, kind of like Chilwell had been last year, where, you know, he's a player that Ole would probably like. And the thing about Declan Rice is he's young, he's English, he's Premier League proven, and he's a CDM again. And I think coming into maybe this window and summer, we probably want a defensive midfielder. And I know what you're thinking, but Alice, our problem this season has been a centre-back. Like, surely if we're going to sign anyone in January, it would be a centre-back. Yes, I agree, but I think Ole is, like, I don't think he really trusts Matic. I don't think Matic has been particularly bad, but I feel like he wants a Matic replacement. I think when we sold Herrera 2 years ago, we knew that we needed a CDM. We didn't get one. We should have really got a CDM this summer. We didn't get one. I do think Manchester United will sign a CDM in the next year, but again, I'm only giving Declan Rice a 2 out of 10 because I cannot see West Ham selling him halfway through the season. So it is a 2 out of 10 for Declan Rice. And the last player on this list is a centre-back in Pau Torres, a player that I made a few videos about in summer and I actually made a bit about last week. He has been on and off linked to Manchester United and he's a left-footed centre-back with pace. And what do Manchester United need? A left-footed centre-back with pace. But much like Upamecano, it's going to depend on the injury record and how our defence is doing come January. I think he's almost a more likely January signing than Upamecano because he's probably more available in January and cheaper. And you know our board, you know, Ole will say I want Upamecano, they'll go get Pau Torres, he's £10 million cheaper, and deliver Pau Torres. You know what our board are like. But I'm giving Pau Torres a 5 out of 10, it's a 50-50, or probably less than that. It just depends on that. What are the defences like going into the summer? And, you know, injuries and all of that. But I believe they were probably Ole's top 5 main targets going into January. You know, I don't know Ole's top 5 targets. I'm not a psychic, I'm just taking an educated guess. But let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's top 5 targets are going into the January transfer window? Who would you like to sign? And if you have not already, please hit that like button, subscribe down below, share this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for my match preview for Manchester United versus Leipzig.